90,000 hours. That's how long the average person spends working over a lifetime. Not living, working. Roughly a third of every waking hour you will ever have poured into a job. Stack those hours end to end, and you get about 10 solid years. 10 years of your one life awake on the clock. There's even a famous career research project named after the number. They call it 80,000 hours because that's the rough total sitting in front of a typical person when they start out. A countdown you can't pause and can't refill. Now here's where it gets strange. Ask people what an hour of their time is worth, and they aim high. A 2025 survey by Empower asked exactly that, and the average American answered $240 an hour. Run the math on a normal work week, and that's almost $500,000 a year, nearly 8 times what the average American actually earns. In their own heads, people are walking around valuing their time like elite specialists. 1 in 4 millennials put their hourly worth above $500 an hour. And then those same people get up the next morning and sell that time for a tiny fraction of it. They'll stand in a checkout line for 20 minutes to save $3. They'll drive across town to save $4. They'll spend a whole unpaid evening on a task they could have handed off for $15. The number in their head says $500 an hour. Their actual behavior says, "My time is basically free. Take it." That gap between what you believe your time is worth and the price you actually let the world pay for it is the most expensive thing about you. And almost nobody is even looking at it. So let's do the thing nobody does. Let's actually price an hour of your life. The lazy way is simple. Take your salary, divide by about 2,000 working hours in a year. Earn 50,000, and there's your answer. $25 an hour. Clean, tidy,
And a lie, because it's lying in your favor. Because that $25 hour doesn't include the commute you don't get paid for. It doesn't include the time getting ready, the emails you answer at 9 at night, the Sunday dread that is absolutely part of the job even though no one pays you for it. Add those invisible hours back in, the ones the job eats but never lists on the paycheck, and your real rate quietly collapses. For a lot of people, the honest number is half of what they think. That tidy $25 hour is really 12, maybe 10. You've been quoting yourself a price that was never true. But here's the part that flips this from depressing to useful. Once you know your real number, it becomes a blade you can cut decisions with. Don't just remember your hourly rate. Remember what 5 minutes of you is worth. Keep both numbers loaded, and the world suddenly looks different. That 20-minute line for a $3 coupon?
If your time is worth more than $9 an hour, and it is, you just paid to lose money. That chore you grind through every weekend, the one someone else would do for $20 while you do something that actually matters to you, you've been refusing a bargain because it feels frugal, when it's quietly the most wasteful thing you do. This is the move the wealthy make without even thinking about it, and it's not glamorous. They are ruthless about one question. Is the thing I'm doing right now worth my rate? If it isn't, they hand it to someone whose rate it does match, and they take the hours back. They're not buying laziness. They're buying the only thing money genuinely can buy: time, returned to them, to spend on the things only they can do. And it turns out that instinct isn't just about getting rich. It's about being happy. And there's hard research on this. Psychologists at Harvard and the University of British Columbia spent years studying a simple split. Some people, deep down, value money more, and some value time more. Then they tracked who was happier. Across thousands of people, students, working adults, a representative slice of the country, the answer kept coming back the same. The people who valued time over money were consistently happier. And this held even after the researchers stripped out income, stripped out how materialistic someone was, stripped out their status. It wasn't that the time people were richer. They simply pointed their lives at the right resource. They even tested it with cash. Give people $40 and tell some to spend it on a thing, and others to spend it on buying time, paying to offload something they hated doing. The time buyers came out happier. Same $40, completely different return.
Because what they actually purchased was the removal of that low-grade pressure of having too much to do and not enough hour to do it in. And that pressure, it turns out, is one of the quiet thieves of a good mood. So here's the part where this stops being a nice idea and becomes something you can actually do this week. There's a brutal little exercise, and it works exactly like the one financial advisors push on people who swear they have no idea where their money goes. They tell you, for 1 week, write down every dollar. Not to budget, just to see. Because the gap between what people think they spend and what they actually spend is enormous, and you cannot fix a leak you can't see. Time works the exact same way, except almost nobody ever runs the experiment on their hours. So run it. For 1 week, 7 days, that's all. You track your time the way that person tracks their money. Every block of 30 minutes, jot down what it actually went to, not what you planned to do.
What you did. Be honest, because the only person you fool is yourself. The phone that was just 5 minutes and 8:40. The meeting that could have been a sentence. The 2 hours of scrolling you'd swear was 20 minutes. Write it all down, no editing, no flinching. And at the end of the week, do one thing with that list. Go line by line and sort every block into one of 3 piles. Pile 1. This paid me. Work or building something or a skill that compounds. Pile 2. This filled me. Rest that actually restored you. People you love. Things that made the life worth having. And pile 3. The honest one. This was just leaked. Not chosen. Not enjoyed. Not paid. Just gone. Most people have never seen pile 3 laid out in front of them, and the size of it is genuinely shocking. Hours and hours a week, every week, of time that didn't make money, didn't make memories, didn't make anything. Time you'd have sworn you didn't have, sitting right there, already spent, on nothing. That's the leak. And here's the quiet trick of the whole exercise. You don't even have to force yourself to change anything. Just seeing pile 3 in your own handwriting does most of the work. Because once you've watched yourself hand those hours away for free, it gets very hard to keep doing it with a straight face. So sit with the whole picture for a second. You have around 90,000 working hours. You privately believe each one is worth a small fortune, and most people spend them like they're worthless, trading the one resource you can never earn back to save a few dollars you could always earn again. That's the thing nobody tells you about money and time. You can lose $1,000 and make it back next month. You will never, under any circumstances, get back a single hour. Every one you sell is gone the instant you hand it over. And you are handing them over right now, reading this, the same way you will tomorrow and the day after, until the 90,000 run out. The only question that was ever worth asking is whether you got a fair price.